interesting developments on what's going on in Yemen at their airport in Sana'a. It looks like Saudi Arabia may have struck that airport as an Iranian plane, civilian passenger, was about to land, and I can't find it now on flight radar. The Iranian plane. A civilian plane turning off its transponder? Like, really? I'm trying to figure this out. Let's see if there's any videos. The Houthis have accused Saudi Arabia of attacking the airport. Unconfirmed reports of renewed airstrikes on Sana'a, Yemen. The Houthis have declared. The Houthi, whatever, has accused Saudi Arabia of effectively declaring war by striking Sana'a International Airport. Wow. The Yemeni government has held an extraordinary meeting and declared a state of permanent convocation to confront the Houthi escalation. Saudi jets bombed Sana'a International Airport to prevent an Iranian airliner from landing. Iran. Oh, there's more coming out. Iran has broken the siege on Yemen by carrying out multiple flights. The Houthis say the bombing is treated as a severe aggression and will not go without a response. And now they're saying it here too. It was diverted to Al Hudaydah Airport in western Yemen. That's why I can't find it, because it landed. That makes sense. Because it was flight IRN 1199. Not the one that I highlighted. It was it landed. It was this one. It's not there because it landed in western Yemen. It was on the way to land at Sana'a, and then Saudi Arabia bombed it to prevent it from landing. Where is Al Hudaydah? Which one is that one? It says western Yemen. That doesn't look like the spelling to me. This is the one that got hit. It said western Yemen. It's gotta be this one. It landed here. Let's see if it says incoming. No flights found. Interesting. It was supposed to land here. Then it got bombed by Saudi jets. That's what's being reported. Yeah, it's not going to be here. It has to be here because it's not there. Interesting. And finally, the UK has designated the IRGC as a terrorist organization. It took this long. I mean, really, UK? It took you this long to do that? I mean, really? Oh my God. That should be a little interesting though. Now that they officially did it, I don't know why it took this long. To be honest, I don't understand why it took this long for the UK to recognize them as a terrorist organization. I don't understand why it took this long. What's up with the UK government, not the people? I'm seeing if there's any images, videos. There's a couple, allegedly. I don't know. Vague. And the regime media is saying that the UK has designated, we're going to have to check. Finally, oh my gosh, why did it take so long for the UK to recognize? And here it is. Alexa, dim living room light. The British government prescribed the IRGC under new state threat powers on Monday, citing activity linked to threats to life and intimidation in the UK.
Okay.
Would make it a criminal offense to invite support for the IRGC, express supportive views, assist its UK related activities, or accept material benefits from it. The government also designated the Iran-linked Islamic movement of Companions of the Right and a volunteer corps tied to Russia's GRU military intelligence. So it looks like it's about freaking time. UK, stand up. Yeah, I saw this. These could be pirates. Could be Somali pirates who goes, God only knows. A tanker. Or it could be Yemenis forces trying to terrorize that. Who knows? Let's see what else is going on with Shin. Oh, there we go. Sanaz airport was hit, smoke rising. Meanwhile, the Iranian bird is about to approach Sanaz airport. It did not land there. It landed at another airport. At least that's what I'm seeing. So it looks like Saudi Arabia struck the airport in Sana'a in Yemen. So even though, despite what the Iranians lie and exaggerate, it says here had to have caused light or moderate damage to facilities at 4 U.S. bases. Interesting. And there is the UK mention. And this is interesting, though. If it was Saudi, Yemeni armed forces said they targeted the runway of Sana'a's international airport. So was it the Saudis or was it the Yemeni armed forces of the government? This is conflicting. Or was it both? Yeah, Sam Neill passed away today. Sad. He was in The Omen, Jurassic Park, The Omen Part, what was it, 3? He played the role as president. He passed away. Age 78, I believe. Hey, what's up, Dave? I think Starmer only done it now so Burnham can deal with the fallout. It's possible. Leave somebody else to clean up the mess. That's what they usually do, right? Makes sense to me, Dave. Definitely makes sense. Let's see what today brings. Other than the Saudis, it's quiet, but I noticed that. I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Good morning, KJ. So something definitely went off in Yemen at their airport in Sana'a. Before the Iranian plane could land, they hit the airfield. Then it had to land at another airfield in Yemen. What's up with that? It's interesting. And now the Houthis are vowing to revenge, that this is an act of war. This could all be planned. That kind of tells me if Saudi's going to take on Yemen, because there's a concern about that strait being shut down by the Yemeni Houthis, it could be part of the bigger plan. I'm just saying it could be. I'm not saying it is. But it's time somebody's got to go after the Houthis too. It happened a while ago because there's no information now coming out. Telegram got a little quiet. I tell you, they put so much propaganda out. Yemeni Ministry of Foreign Affairs, we will begin a new phase with God's help. Really? To help to fully and completely reclaim our rights. The Saudi regime will discover that it has placed itself in a major strategic predicament and will pay a heavy price as a result. It did land at that airport that I thought it did, but there's no information on it. So it landed allegedly here. The Iranian plane. Because it couldn't land in Sana'a, so it landed here. Nothing going on right now. I'm talking about Yemen with Saudi Arabia. Because the Saudis or Yemeni forces or both, they hit the airport here. And the plane was coming across to land, and it got diverted to land here instead, an Iranian plane. A passenger plane. So God only knows. So the plane was traveling, because I was watching. It was going across. It was IRN 1199. It was supposed to land here until it got hit. And then it got diverted to land here. An Iranian, like I said, quote, passenger, end quote, plane. They're hip to it. And the Saudis hit it. Now, the Houthis are vowing revenge. What is this? It's in Arabic, so I don't know what the hell. Yeah, they're restating it now. It landed at that airport I just highlighted. What's up, Etaban? I just say Ben. I hate that. I don't want to mispronounce your name. I hope the Saudis take care of business with Yemen. And that could be the plan. Like I said, that could be the plan. The Saudis deal with Yemen to prevent them from closing this strait here. Who is flying here? There's definitely, we're keeping an eye on this shit. We're keeping an eye on the strait. Because this has always been threatened, that they would shut this strait down right here. The Houthis. Maybe the Saudis are going to put pressure on the Houthis, deal with that while we deal with this. And we were hitting pretty hard yesterday up in this area, which I'm hearing was had to do a lot with their economic. I know, but I might even mispronounce that. Eitan? Etan? Eitan? I'm a New Yorker, dude. I don't want to mispronounce your name. I don't. I feel bad when I do that. After an explosion was heard, the UAE Ministry of Defense confirmed that a fire has broken out in the Zayed military city, Abu Dhabi. The cause is currently unknown. This is what the other side is saying. What the hell's that about? The Iranian plane ignored Saudi warnings and landed in Yemen anyway. It landed at that airport. So the Saudis threatened the plane, but yet it still landed. Etan? Okay. Eitan? Oh my God. All right, I'll say it first. Etan. Say yes, no. Then I know it's the other way. So Etan is wrong. It's the other one. He's trying to tell me how to do it. Anyway. Oh, Etan. Good. We resolved that now, Etan. So keep an eye on that. The Saudi Houthi exchanges now. Like Etan, 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 Etan. Etan? Like Etan. Man Million, what's happening? Yes. Wasn't it nice to see that? And it looks like it's not necessarily hitting the oil itself. It's the oil infrastructure. Did we not have this conversation a while back that I said don't go after Karg? I was the one who said to go after Araz, whatever the hell it's called, and hit all those areas in there, because that's like the main area where everything is distributed. And remember I said that? Go after the infrastructure, because the infrastructure could be rebuilt. And over time. But it looks like that's exactly what we did. And kudos to that. Avaz? Yeah, Avaz. Remember I said this when the whole Karg Island thing was talked about, that they were going to go and take it. This is months ago. Remember I said, don't do that. Go to the north, because I looked it up where their main areas are of production. This is a great idea. This is a great idea to hit these areas, because this is the infrastructure. This is going to hurt them economically bad. Instead of hitting power plants and bridges, well, bridges could be strategic in nature too. Go where it hits them the most, in their pocket, but not necessarily forget. You could hit the targets and Karg with the IRGC there, but the storage tanks, the pumping areas, you may not want to touch that. You might want to destroy it, but that also affects world production at some point. So you hit the infrastructure that leads to the island and you cut it off. You cut it off. There's nothing flowing there if you cut off the production that gets to it. It's a much smarter move that we did. There's no need to land in Karg Island and take it for what? If there's nothing going to it. I said this months ago. Looks like that's what they're doing. Now, yes, there's IRGC targets that they could be hitting there. But as far as us putting boots on the ground there, that's so crazy risky. That's stupid. This is smarter. This is much smarter. Yes, they hit the pumping stations. Exactly. Remember we looked it up on the map, John? Remember? You were here. Remember we talked about this? And I said, why are you doing Karg? Just hit the stations, pumping stations, and the infrastructure. And they did! No, they weren't listening to me. You guys are still missing the point about Karg Island. There is no flow on Karg Island if you hit out the pumping stations and all oil leading to Karg. Karg becomes irrelevant. There's nothing going to go on Karg because there's no oil getting to it. That's the point. And they did it. And we spoke about this months ago. John is my witness. It is the smarter move. And you don't have to jeopardize boots on the ground and put our people at risk. You do not have to take the island if there's nothing flowing to it. Now, yes, there could be IRG installations, defense, offensive places that you want to take out. That's different. But as far as being there to occupy the storage facility and everything, for what? It's stupid. It's just stupid. They woke up and realized this was the better thing to do. And it's funny how, John, you remember when we had this conversation and we were saying, why are you thinking about doing that when you could just hit these areas? And they did it last night. I was like, wait a minute. This looks awfully familiar to what I was talking about a few months ago. You do not want to destroy Karg Island. Because if the regime changes, let's just say, that can help the next. You do not want to destroy it. Because that is a major asset of oil. You do not have to destroy it. You destroy the pumping stations. You do not have to destroy that. Because at some point that could be vital to the economy if the regime changes. Now, if the regime doesn't change and you really want to put a hurt on them, yeah, that might be something that you can put on the checklist later on. But for right now, this was the smarter move. Definitely a smarter move. Because this still affects them. It hurts them. There's not going to be no oil flowing to Karg. They're doing the smart move without destroying the actual infrastructure. Because that will hurt the Iranian people. Exactly. No pumps working, no oil out. I don't understand what people are confused about here. I don't understand the confusion. To me, it's the smart move. Especially, I don't want to put American lives at risk. Boots on the ground. Even though there's people out there that would love to see that happen, occupy. I think that's a big mistake. You can't destroy all oil pumps, but the majority of the oil that goes to Karg is coming from Avaz. I did the research on this. I did it live. I did research on this. And like John knows, we spoke about this at depth months ago. And I'm not going to go over the whole research again and show you how the lines work and run toward Karg. And it comes actually from two places. The majority of it comes from Avaz. There's another place to the east that is also a point. And I think it's in here somewhere. But Avaz is the main point. exactly the. I don't understand how people are confused about it. It's just a loading point. I don't get it. But anyway, I'm not gonna just obsess over this. We could debate on this. The point is, we hit this area, which I think is a great start. That's the bottom line. At some point, do we hit Karg? Maybe. What's on Karg? Storage? This? Is this what you want to hit? That's what you want to hit? This right here? Well, obviously, oil has to feed through offshore into here. What's the purpose of hitting this? To destroy them indefinitely? How long this would take to rebuild? You do this, they may strike the oil facilities in the Arab countries. The best thing to do is do it a different way. You take out the oil that's flowing to it. It's a much smarter idea. Forget about the Israelis doing it. Don't even think that. Don't even bring that up. The Israelis can focus on other things. They don't need to get involved with this because that'll give Iran a reason. You got to remember, Israel's the size of New Jersey. And I honestly think that Iran is holding back a lot of their missiles to point directly toward Israel. The Arab countries are not their enemies. Truly, they're not. Israel is. Yes, they're going to use and target American bases because that's more symbolism for them. How many times can you hit the Fifth Fleet base? And they make so many claims. We destroyed this, we destroyed that. They ain't destroyed shit. That's just bullshit. It took a multi-million-dollar think tank 3 months to figure out what we did in one day. Yeah, but Thomas, remember, again, John remembers. Thank God at least somebody was here when we had that discussion that's in chat. We discussed this. Forget about Karg. Go after the infrastructure. The pumping stations. The economic lifeline of it. Because Avaz is a major hub. That was smart. Yes, the Saudis hit the airport in Sana'a. And now Yemen is, yes, that's what I was worried about. Trying to close the strait, Napi. Hitting the Fifth Fleet place is simply, exactly, Mike, that's what I just said. It's symbolic. They can try, but that's why people keep saying, are they going to hit Israel? Are they gonna? The last thing is the Iranians want is to draw Israel into this. That's the last thing. They're not going to do that. I see people making comments. Is Israel having alerts? No. That would be a big mistake by Iran to draw them in. But maybe at some point Iran will. Out of desperation. I don't know. I just don't see it right now. It's this tit for tat thing. But slowly, and maybe somebody woke up, like somebody said, the think tank was thinking about this. You don't have to go after their power plants. Go after where it hurts. The money flow to the regime. Don't hurt the people, because they may flip on you. You're causing us harm now. Go after where it hurts the regime and the government. The money. And I think last night was a good indicator that that's exactly what they intend to do. Now we have to see what other targets they hit. They may hit more petrochemical locations throughout the country. We got to see. I think it's a great move. Thomas, you were here when we were talking about Karg 2. Remember that, though? How many months ago was that? 3? I mean, we spoke about this months ago. And remember how I highlighted Avaz and we went over the whole area and their facilities and this is what we should hit right here. And then they did it last night. I was like, oh shit, deja vu. This reminds me of something. That's why I love this chat. Because look, it's almost like we predicted this action months ago because we seen the strategic value in it months ago before they acted 3 months later. That's what made me freak out when I was seeing the coverage where they were hitting. Say, wait a minute. This looks way too familiar. Exactly. Exactly, John. And I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. Dollars and cents to hit it. Because remember, we were talking about how is the oil lead to CARG? Remember that whole conversation, how it started? Where is it coming from? It was actually two places. I don't want to, because we were looking at, I was doing the research. But why am I going to the airport? Avaaz is a big part. We could look it up. This is Flight Radar, so why am I using Flight Radar? You can't see the screen, but let me bring it up. I really don't want to rehash this, but it is significant since they hit it last night. And like I said, I was watching. I'm like, oh shit. Now that doesn't mean at some point something won't occur on CARG. I'm not saying that. Absolutely not. But for right now, I think this is a very, very important first step. That's all I'm saying. And there's a lot of other things connected to this area. You know, there's other importance to it. It's not just the oil. There's other economic effects that it has. But I'm trying to remember the place closer. Because there's another spot to the east. I would pay for, I mean, it's expensive. I would pay for the satellite imagery they want so much. It's stupid. But yeah, this is a very important area for their infrastructure. I'm just looking at it on the Google. Here's Avaaz up here. Now, it's not going to be in the populated areas. It's on the outskirts, if I remember. I just don't, like I said, I don't want to spend too much time going cray-cray on this. But it was, like I said, I thought it was a smart move. We'll see what happens. I'm going to refresh some. Yemen's Houthi-run foreign ministry say Saudi Arabia's strike on Sana'a airport has ended the de-escalation and ceasefire phase, accusing Riyadh of starting the war and warning it will face heavy consequences as the Houthis enter a new phase. Same old rhetoric bullshit. That's why I think it's time to just take these. You got to just finish the job. End it. So here's the image that shows it landing at the other airport in Yemen. The Iranian plane. Just listen to it and it tells you everything, right? Allahu Akbar, all that. It's what you're dealing with. Again, I'm just glad that the UK finally stepped up and did what they had to do. You know? Oh, I will, CB. I've been so busy. I keep forgetting. I will. Yeah, you know what I mean? Isn't it just ridiculous already with this nonsense? And now they're showing them, Shin is showing it. The people getting off the plane. The Iranian plane.
يا حيا يا حيا يا مرحبا بكم في عندنا في مطار الحديدة يا حيا يا حيا يا حيا يا حيا يا حيا يا مرحبا بكم.
What are they getting the IRGC is getting their family members out and sending them to Yemen because nobody else is going to take them?
يا مرحبا بكم في عندنا في مطار الحديدة يا حيا يا حيا يا حيا يا حيا يا حيا.
This is such, it's so utterly ridiculous. And I in no way condone, you know, any civilian casualties or anything like that. It was a passenger plane. Well, who were the passengers? I don't know. Are they family members of important people within the regime? I don't know. But they sure were trying to get people out. And there's actually been a few flights going on from Iran to Yemen in recent days. So it's interesting. This is an alleged video from Sana'a when the airport was hit, the smoke. Not confirmed, allegedly. Remember, you take everything for what it's worth. But that's what they're saying. And I check Fake Tux, Shin, Iran International. Iran International is totally anti-regime. Let me stop this video before we keep hearing that audio. Let's see what's going on here now. I hope the United States does not let up. I really do. What is this? Oh, they're just sharing the same image of the video of the plane landing. Big deal. Yeah, it's the same thing. They're all posting, they're all regurgitating the same thing. Because there's really nothing else going on right now. It's kind of quiet. For now. I'm checking flight radar. See how many tankers are flying. It's quite a bit, but that's normal, really. They seem to have a continual presence flying. Let's check this one out. So it looks like some ships were taking the Iranian route. I don't see anybody trying to take this route. At least not now. Where's this going? Well, that kind of makes sense. It's going to Iran. see Faith. That one looks like it's going off the coast of Oman. Yeah. So they took the long way just to get here. If that makes sense. They didn't want to take their chances going too close. Instead of to go into here, they took the long way. They went the Iranian way, and now they're going to come down and go in. They didn't take the chance. I wonder who the country is. It's Iraq. Yeah, it's Iraq. It left Iraq up in here. And it went the long way in the straight. It didn't take the shortcut. So it did not take the US way. The US way is right through here. The Iranian way is here or here. It's pretty obvious which way it took, just based on its position, because it would be here. So it's going to be interesting to see if we hear any ships, tankers, or cargo taking the U.S. suggested way. And if they try, do they get struck again by Iran? And then it's the same Groundhog Day situation. You know what I mean? What's going on in here now? Yeah, we need to get the Hebrew. Oh. Sky News are reporting that it's a Red Cross aircraft and that the Houthi rebels are detaining it. Really? Why would they land then? Go Sativa. I saw your comment. I don't know about that. The Times of Israel is saying that Ahmadinejad, remember he was the president years ago of Iran, met Mossad chief under Israeli plan to install him as Iran's leader, is now under arrest. This is what Times of Israel is reporting. That I can't never say his name right. Ahmadinejad has now been arrested and accused, maybe, of working with the Mossad or communicating with the Mossad. Oh, he's toast. He's done. He's done, if that's true. That's what the Times of Israel is reporting. Take that for what it's worth. I'll share it on the screen. And is now under arrest. Holy shit. So they actually took out his security and they took him to a safe house, but he later Alexa, stop. He later left the safe house after growing disillusioned with Israel's plan to install him. He was seen at the funeral, but is now believed in IRGC custody over his ties with Israeli intelligence. Again, take this for what it's worth. Well, if this is true and they detain him, bye-bye Ahmadinejad. Yes, that's right. Of course not. The Mossad is everywhere. That's definite. There's plenty of Iranians on the ground working with the Mossad, CIA, the resistance, giving out intel information about individuals' locations, where to target. They're here. Go after them. But that's interesting. If true. I mean, they're alleging that he's in IRGC custody at this time. Let's see if any evidence comes out about that. What is this?
Remember this, they killed 52,000 people. Remember this, they killed 52,000 protesters so far. As of this moment, the number is 52,000. So who's going to protest? And a lot of people are surprised about the protesting, that they haven't. But nobody's going to protest when they get shot. They have AK-47s, they have machine guns aimed at people's heads. If you move 1 foot further, you get shot. And then they'll shoot 10 of them, and everybody flees. Who's not going to flee? They don't have guns.
Right.
So they're a bad group of people. Let me just tell you that. I don't say that often, and I have to live with that statement. They're a bad group of people. They've been this way for a long time, and right now they're getting their ass kicked.
That was this morning from Fox News. That was this morning. Right now they're getting their ass kicked. Well, keep on kicking it. And he's very aware of the Iranian people. That was the gist of that. He knows. But will they be given the opportunity to take to the streets and try to take their country back? I don't know. But he alluded to it. Right? It's on his mind. So what they were saying, Yemenis cheer as the plane lands, chanting "Victory to Islam, death to America, and death to the Jews." That's what they were chanting. It's now investigated by the counterintel. I wonder. Look. I'm not surprised, John. Are you? That her murder is being investigated by the counterterrorism police. Now, what if it's linked to IRGC or Iranian extremists, jihadis? Then what? What does the UK do? Is that why today happened? Identifying the IRGC as a terrorist organization? Anything affiliated? Support? Are they connected? I don't know. I never liked Hootie and the Blowfish at all. Never liked any of their music at all. If the president and the crown prince gave the order, they might rise up. Yeah, well, they're not going to do it right now because it's way too risky for the people of Iran to do it right now. That was always been the issue. When the time comes, they'll slaughter them again. As of right now, unless there's something going on that we've heard in the past that they were trying to arm them, could be happening. I hope it's happening. I hope they're arming the Iranian people, the resistance, the Immortal Guard, etc. I hope they are. Exactly. Rise up with what? That's what I just said. Do they even have anything to rise up with? It'd be slaughter. All over again. So, who knows? Well, I guess time will tell. That thing I just talked about is being shared all over. And Donald Trump's comments on Fox News is being shared on many Iranian outlets right now. Good. Let him share it. And now, actually, wow. Now, the New York Times is talking about what the Israeli Times of Israel. And take it for what it's worth. They report that Israel spent years cultivating former Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad as a potential leader of a post-regime Iran, despite his past calls for Israel's destruction, Holocaust denial, and role in accelerating Iran's nuclear program. I don't know. So this is what Iran International is reporting about the protesters from January in Iran being held detention. January protesters trapped in hell of Greater Tehran prison. We were actually talking about what was going on. I think water, food, and hygiene shortages are happening all throughout the country, not just in the prison. You know what I mean? Protest detainees held alongside other prisoners. See, they're also having a lot of internal issues. This is older, but still, they're having issues, no doubt. The past has come and gone. Let's see. I don't know what they're trying to say here. Cairo, I saw this. It's diverting. We have to take a look at this flight. They're bringing it to the attention, and I don't know why. I'm going to have to look at it. This flight right here. What's up with this flight? It's being diverted. Oh, they took it off. Figures. Scheduled. It was coming in from Cairo to Yemen. It's now been diverted. Interesting. All right, I gotta go to Flight Tracker. I'm trying to find this on the map. Okay. So it's supposed to go to Aden, this flight from Cairo, but instead it landed here. It was supposed to land here in Yemen. It's been diverted and landed here. Let's see if it has the arrivals. It was IYE. I do not see IYE. Interesting. That's not it. So it looks like another plane was diverted from Yemen and landed here instead. Something's going on. Maybe, I don't know if they're hitting other airports or there's the airspace is closed. It's possible. There ain't nothing flying over Yemen, that's for sure. They may have closed their airspace because of what happened with the Saudis hitting here. Makes sense that they closed their airspace. Wow, what is it? I'm live.
So, I'm on life too.
Oh.
Where's Chiquito?
I don't know, Mom. Oh, look at them celebrating as they get off the plane.
Oh,
Mom, I'm busy. You don't know.
oh, that's nice.
It's not nice. Look at them, getting off the plane after landing. Look. Look at them. Oh. Unbelievable. So that was the plane earlier that landed. That was coming from Iran to Sana'a, and then it was diverted because the Saudis hit the base. I mean, the airfield. Unbelievable. What? What is this? UK says an Iran-backed group was behind attacks on Jews, bans Revolutionary Guard. That happened a while back, and now they're tying it to that. An Iran-backed group was behind attacks on Jews in the UK and bans Revolutionary Guards. Yes. That's what I was saying earlier, John. It's all over the place about what the UK did. It's about freaking time. For real. Why it took so long, I don't know. Starmer? Hopefully things get better in the UK. For the people. All the people. Not just select groups. All the people. Oh, Jesus Christ. You ready for this one? So this is allegedly a video of an Iranian missile being launched. And it has, look what it says on it. Just take a look at this video. First of all, that video looks old as shit. Game over USA. That's debris flying all over the place, when it's taken off. Look at this. Look at this bullshit they're putting out there. Look. Game over? For real? This is the kind of shit that I'm seeing. It's like, what the hell is going? It looks like an Acme. I keep saying it's like Acme from Looney Tunes, Wile E. Coyote with the Roadrunner. What kind of crazy shit is this? Iran International put that off. It was a video published by the Revolutionary Guards affiliated FARS. We should just put like caricatures of a mouse hiding somewhere under a hole and put that on our rockets. It is, CB, it is. I'm not surprised though. I've decided to lay off the coffee in the morning. I'm deciding to lay off a lot of things now. It's being repeated as far as that's concerned. Telegram's been very busy. Would you like to just your favorite news outlet in the UK? I'm just kidding. Mahmoud will use new government powers to ban support for the group, which has been linked to death threats, attacks, and intimidation in the UK. She set out how support for the IGC from expressing a positive opinion to assisting them will now be an offense punishable up to 14 years in prison. So even if you express a positive opinion to assist them, you're getting up to 14 years. Good. Two other groups, the Islamic Movement of Companions of the Right and the Volunteer Corps of Russia's GRU. New powers will be given to the police and intelligence agencies to tackle espionage, foreign interference, sabotage, and physical attacks from these groups. The IRGC back groups have been believed to have directed 7 attacks at UK locations linked to Jewish and Israeli communities. The Prime Minister promised to fast track this. Announcing the new powers, Keir Starmer said, "We will never let Britain be the playground for states who want to spread fear, division, and violence on our streets. We have already taken tough action against the Iranian regime and those linked to it, really, and against Russian operatives and networks targeting our country. These new powers will make it easier to prosecute and lock up anyone carrying out their dirty work here in Britain." This is what she said, "Iran and Russia are using proxies and thugs to do their dirty work on our shores. I have been rapidly designating 3 groups so that those working for them will be tracked down and put behind bars. MI5 identified 20 potential lethal Iranian-backed plots against people in the UK in the last year. The IRGC is a central component of the Iranian state's security apparatus, answerable directly to the Supreme Leader. Its role extends far beyond that of a conventional military force. It encompasses intelligence activity, the use of proxy actors, and the projection of influence designed to advance Iranian state objectives." It's about time. Isn't it about time? The UK? Why is he doing it now? You know? I mean, really, this should have been done a long time ago. I mean, Jesus, it took this long to say, duh. They were the terrorist group. Really? Why don't you get rid of them out of London now? See, that's the scary thing about it, Thomas. Could that law be brought into effect other areas that affect other British individuals from putting out their opinions about stuff and rounding them up to be arrested? Claiming that they're trying to cause violence with their rhetoric or... Oh my God. I get it though. I get exactly what you're saying. Haven't people in the UK already been incarcerated or arrested for some of the posts that they put, their comments? No? Yeah, he's done. That's the problem. He's done, Race. He's done. He's out. He's out. So he's doing this now, like, and now it'll be for the next prime minister to address, which is, I can't remember his name. Barnum? I can't think of his name. This is a UK politic thing. I don't... Starnum? What's his name? Somebody please tell me in chat who is going to be the next expected prime minister to be in the UK. Can't think of his name. At the top of my head. Britain, wait a minute, 38 seconds ago. Britain summoned Iran's ambassador on Monday following its designation of the Revolutionary Guards. The IRGC was sitting behind the newly proscribed group IMCR, which claimed responsibility for attacks targeting the Jewish community, Cooper said. The British government will announce further measures in the coming days. But that's it, Burnham. That's it. Andy Burnham. Thank you. I knew it ended like something I couldn't think of it. Starmer had to resign because he's an idiot, and Burnham is taking over without a single vote to put him as leader. Is that a party decision? Like, is because I don't know how the politics work in the UK, and I'm not going to try to say I do. Is it because he was part of that political faction party, and they get to choose who replaces him for now until there's elections? Is that what it's like? It's like they get to choose who fills the role for now. Whatever party he's part of, that party gets to choose his replacement until elections take place to elect a new prime minister. Is that... Can somebody explain that to me? In chat? Our UK friends there? Can you please educate me? And... Yes, it was, Bill. I got it right? Because I have no idea how it works over there. Like, obviously here, due to the sudden and tragic passing of Senator Lindsey Graham, the governor, who's a Republican in South Carolina, chooses, this is what I believe, I may be wrong on this, chooses who fills his role in for now until the election, the midterms or whatever. But I think it is the governor of South Carolina that chooses an interim senator for now. Okay, so yes again. All right. So I got it right. When are your elections taking place? And can elections be taken... Because I thought this is something true too. Can elections happen before they're actually scheduled to take place? Can they have elections prior to whenever it's supposed to happen? It's quite complicated. Basically, Byrne resigned as mayor of Manchester and got a Labour Parliament member to resign to trigger a by-election in that area. Burnham ran and when the by-election won the by-election and basically told it's not a people's choice. What? Oh, so wait, they can have it before it. Wait a minute. What do you mean it's not a people's choice? Starmer that if he didn't resign, he would stage a leadership contest with the vote of no confidence again. So Starmer resigned and Burnham has taken. Okay. So he challenged him. He challenged him. No confidence. And the pressure by Burnham had Starmer resign. Even though the guy, to me, is weak. Only if Labor calls it. So, why would Labor call for an early election if they have someone already to put in place? That doesn't make sense to me. Why would Labor want to do that? Wouldn't they just want to wait and let Burnham take the spot for now? Why would they call for an early election? Because that could set a different course for them as a party. That doesn't make sense to me. By the way, Telegram, everything got quiet. 2029 is when we get a chance. Wow. That's 3 years from now. That's a lot can happen. 3 years. President Trump just made a statement somewhere. I don't know if it was on Fox because we played a clip earlier from Fox. The other side is saying this. President Trump, we will become guardians of the Strait of Hormuz and impose tolls. This is what the other side is claiming he said sometime this morning. PM is chosen by Parliament. So all those different parties in Parliament get to decide? That is cray-cray. He didn't even challenge him. Usually we have 4 or 5 people run for leadership, but none of them had any battle to challenge Burnham, so he basically taken over. Oh, so nobody, there's no other real candidates then. Is that what I'm getting? But wait. I'm no more confused now that I'm stumbling and stuttering. So all these different parties and groups that are part of Parliament, I'm assuming that other parties, maybe smaller ones, work with other parties to try to come up with the majority within Parliament to get the Prime Minister elected, chosen. So I'm thinking they all try to work with each other, whether it's right or left, and they try to get this party to come on this side to create a majority in Parliament so that they can pick that person as Prime Minister. Is that right? Because it seems like there's a lot of different factions within Parliament. I'm reading to you what the other side said. He must have made a statement. I don't know where they're getting that from. Wait. We have a Fox. No, that was the old one. I think that's the clip we played earlier. Wait a minute. There's a different... It must be the same clip. Hold on. I think we played this one.
Agreement that has been signed by this country. That's the top 5 bad agreements. And that basically gave them everything. And they built...
Hold on.
That has been signed by this country. That's the top 5 bad agreements. And that basically gave them everything. And they built and built and built. And they were minutes away from a nuclear weapon.
He's talking about JCPOA.
Had I not terminated the agreement, the Iran nuclear deal, it's called, they would have had a weapon then. Had I not killed...
I don't know why they're mentioning this, because he said that many times, and all of a sudden that's making its way around the media outlets for the regime. That makes no sense to me why that's all of a sudden coming out at all.
And look, we have them. We have them in the run. Most of their equipment is gone. Their anti-aircraft stuff is gone. We hit them very hard last night. Every time they send a drone, we hit them very hard. But we had a deal. What nobody knows, we had a deal. It was a done deal, and then they broke it. They always break it. We've had 10 deals with these people, and so we're just going to hit them very hard, and we're gonna keep the Strait. And we'll probably run it. We'll become the guardian of the Strait. Maybe we'll call it the guardian angel of the Strait. And we should be reimbursed for that. When we do that, we're going to be reimbursed because the other nations are very wealthy. They're on our side. And we can't be expected to do that for nothing, unlike we had for many years. You know, we guarded the Strait for 50 years more, and we never got paid for it. They made all the money, and the United States was just, they wouldn't. It's amazing. It's we never made. We guarded it for nothing, and now we're going to guard it. We're going to get paid for guarding it, a lot of money. But we just want to be reimbursed for doing all of this, for putting our people in danger. But we're really not putting people. We're really saving people. Remember this: they killed 52,000 protesters so far, as of this moment.
There it is. He said it on Fox this morning. We're going to become the guardians of the Strait and charge tolls. That looks like a definite change. It looks like we may take, based on what he said, it looks like we may take the Strait by force. Something we've said for months. It may finally be happening. Trump says that he is taking control. I just played the clip of him this morning from Fox News. Again, I'll play the clip again. Just listen to it. And you got to remember, he's right with all the U.S. bases protecting these Arab countries because it's at their, cooperation to have these bases in their territories. I mean, do they pay for that? It's always about money, though, John. But listen to it again. I'm going to mute.
Look, we have them. We have them in the run. Most of their equipment is gone. Their anti-aircraft stuff is gone. We hit them very hard last night. Every time they send a drone, we hit them very hard. But we had a deal. What nobody knows, we had a deal. It was a done deal. And then they broke it. They always break it. We've had 10 deals with these people, and so we're just going to hit them very hard. And we're gonna keep the Strait. And we'll probably run it. We'll become the guardian of the Strait. Maybe we'll call it the guardian angel of the Strait. And we should be reimbursed for that. When we do that, we're going to be reimbursed because the other nations are very wealthy. They're on our side. And we can't be expected to do that for nothing, unlike we had for many years. You know, we guarded the Strait for 50 years more, and we never got paid for it. They made all the money, and the United States was just, they wouldn't. It's amazing. It's we never made. We guarded it for nothing, and now we're going to guard it. We're going to get paid for guarding it, a lot of money. But we just want to be reimbursed for doing all of this, for putting our people in danger. But we're really not putting people. We're really saving people. Remember this: they killed 52,000 protesters so far, as of this moment.
What if you take control of the Strait? That means you take full control of the Strait. Right? Doesn't logic dictate that? I mean, that means Iran is removed from the equation. So, are they finally going to, they've decided, and to be reimbursed by the Arab countries and use of getting the traffic out, similar to what Iran was trying to pull. That's the cost of us risking our people to forcefully get the Strait opened and take it out of Iran's hands. Iran is toast. Toast if this happens. They're toast. Long time coming. I just hope what he just said happens. That the United States does forcefully take back the Strait of Hormuz. Oh yeah, take them seriously. But that's crazy about the coalition. If one party doesn't get enough votes to win an election outright, that's wild how the parliament works in the UK. That is super complicated. There's a new sheriff town. Things are going to be changing. Let's hope. We'll see what happens. But that's... I haven't heard that number either. What did he say? 52,000 now? I could have sworn he said 54,000 in a comment a few days ago or whatever it was. Close-up video. Oh, look at this. We have a video what happened when the Saudis bombed the airport in Yemen. Whoa. Holy shit. Let's look at it.
في هذه اللحظات مشاهدينا
Let
الكرام
me rewind it
كما تشاهدون
from the beginning.
في هذه اللحظات مشاهدينا الكرام كما تشاهدون غارات يومية عدوانية على مطار صنعاء الدولي. إلى حد الآن بغارتين استهدفت مدرج الهبوط والإقلاع هنا كما تشاهدون.
Whoa. Oh.
عدوانية متواصلة. شوف
Is that like a rocket launcher or something on that truck? Do you see it? What is that? It looks like, I don't know, oh, it's a helicopter. It looks like, oh! Holy! It looked like a launcher, but it looks like an old depleted helicopter. Let's look at this again. Holy.
في هذه اللحظات مشاهدينا الكرام كما تشاهدون غارات يومية عدوانية على مطار صنعاء الدولي. إلى حد
Looks like Sanford and Son when they had all the junk. Looks like a helicopter is just lying there and wow.
عدوانية متواصلة. شوف 4 غارات. عدوانية متواصلة.
That is pretty impressive just to see that video like that. Now, what is the Yemeni response? The Houthis, not the Yemeni. The Houthi response. Are they going to say, we're going to try to close down the strait and blame it on Saudi Arabia? Will they hit targets in Saudi Arabia? What kind of retaliation are the Houthis going to do now? No, Ghost. An Iranian plane was about to land there. And before it landed there, they hit the airfield, the runway. And it had to be diverted to another location in Yemen. And another flight that was heading to Aden, which is in the coastal areas of Yemen, it had to be diverted. So there's some stuff going on. There was an Iranian plane, IRM 1199, because I was following it on flight radar. It was heading to land, and then it got diverted because the Saudis hit the runway where it was about to land. They must have been noticing a pattern of flights coming out of Iran and going there. That's the only thing I could think of. Now, how much damage is on the airfield where it could be patched up and opened up again takes time, but it's interesting. All right, hold on. This telegram is... Why is that happening? Okay. I still can't get over that, the way it looks. Yeah, that's a helicopter now that I see it. From the far distance, I thought it was some kind of a launcher. Well, let's see what's going on. Oh, Iran just released a statement, but this guy, I gotta have to check his X account. He released a statement, but let's see what it is about. This dude, he's just as bad as the Houthi guy. You know, the guy with the glasses? That guy. I'm going to check it. Oh. That video is spreading, and so is the clip of the president on Fox. What's up, Kendrick? I'm live. What's happening?
Just starting to say hi, bro. I feel like I haven't
Good
seen
morning.
you in 100 years.
Oh, God. Oh, dude, you work out too much. You're going to strangle me. Oh, I found a set of locks that we could use as pins. They're in the bathroom, in the drawer. There's like 5 of them in the set, but we'll deal with that. It's raining right now, so.
Dude, and the lock that I showed you.
The combination.
Yeah.
Works?
I figure we clip it and we make 2 pins out of it. You know, like
I have a lock cutter, a bolt cutter.
And that's all we need, just 2 clips.
All right. Anyway, go do your thing. All right. Let's see. I'm going to have to look at this guy's feed. Oh, man, they are spreading Trump statements all over their media. And that video is all over. Yemen military media publishes the response is coming. Whatever that means. I want to see if I find this Ass Clown's X account, because somebody helped me yesterday get it. But now I can't remember. There's no way I could spell it. I should have bookmarked it. Okay, this is what he said. It's not translated, but they put a translation. This is what he said. The repeated adventurism and hostile actions of the United States in interfering in the management of the Strait of Hormuz have seriously jeopardized regional security, international trade, and the passage of oil tankers and commercial vessels. No, they're the ones that have been striking vessels. Unfortunately, the cooperation of some regional countries has also increased the risk of war spreading through the region. So they're trying to say that they're aligning with us. Therefore, we declare the following. In accordance with previous warnings, we will not allow the United States to interfere in the management of the Strait of Hormuz in any way, shape, or form. The armed forces of the Islamic Republic of Iran will deal decisively with any attempt by the aggressive and thieving U.S. military to disrupt or cause insecurity to the passage of commercial vessels and oil tankers outside the designated routes determined by Iran and without authorization from the armed forces. The strong actions taken by the IRGC and the Iranian army in recent days are a testament to this. What strong actions, you lying piece of shit? Leaders of the regional countries are warned that any cooperation with the United States and the provision of logistical support to its aggressive military constitutes an act of war against Iran's sovereignty and national security. Should war spread in the region, the flames of war will engulf all countries in the region. The responsibility for all insecurity and the expansion of war in the region lies with the United States and the countries that cooperate with the army of the criminal country. I do so much, I could check it, but dude, I could check it from yesterday. It's a good idea, CB. I would think something big is about to happen with all these different governments seeming to get more and more involved. I think it's game on. Why would Saudis hit Yemen all of a sudden? It looks coordinated. It looks like the Saudis are going to deal with the Houthis to prevent them from strangling the strait over there. This looks coordinated. I think we only see what goes on publicly. I can't imagine what goes on behind closed doors. I think something's coming. a coordinated effort by the Arab countries with the United States. And if you notice, who's not involved? Israel. Keep Israel out. Let the United States deal with this with the other Arab countries. Now, the only way Israel gets involved is if there's an attack, probably from Iran. Because even if Hezbollah strikes Israel, Israel will just retaliate against Hezbollah targets in Lebanon. Would Iran strike Israel? I don't think so. At least not yet. Not yet. This is getting really interesting. They're just repeating it now on all the outlets about what that dude said. What's up, Witch Moon? I believe, John, I believe something is brewing. And when the president says that, we're going to become the Guardians, that means he's going to keep hitting targets around the strait. We could see this happening. I don't want to speculate overboard, but based on what's coming out and actions that are taking place and statements, we definitely see that right now there's no way the MOU happens. This is just escalated. Does anybody in that chat think that the MOU is still behind the scenes? The Pakistanis and the Qataris and all these other characters are trying to convince, please get back to the table, both of you, get back to the table. I don't think anybody's listening right now. You guys think that's even a possibility? If I hear that they're still trying to have negotiations with Iran, I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna flip. That shit is done. Done. Senior advisor to Iran's supreme leader, Mohammed Makbar, described the Strait of Hormuz as strategically irreplaceable for Iran. It's their only card. It's their only card. They're not going to give it up. What did I say last night? They're not going to do it. Saying the country would defend it to ensure its ships are never forced to pay ransom to an adversary. Because they heard what the president said. Oh, so now we're supposed to pay him as guardian of the strait for tolls? Oh, they didn't like that. They didn't like that. They're already responding. They're already responding. No way we're paying tolls to the adversary. Forget about adversary, the enemy. There's no way. Unless you surrender, you grimy pieces of shit. Oh my God. There is no place for retreat on this issue. This is it. This is it. And they know it. It's their only card, other than a nuclear card. But they know it. They know they have to hold on to that. It's their only card to play. That's why the UK has just announced. Yes, do you see how everything's coming together? I mean, let's think about it. Could the UK, maybe during that NATO summit, maybe there was discussions? Actions speak louder than words, but is there something brewing here that we might see more activity in the Med? Ships entering, maybe from the UK. I don't think they're coming from Italy. I definitely don't think they're coming from France. But could the UK be coming around? And maybe, I am speculating 100%. I'm just saying. It looks like there could be a lot of things going on behind the scenes, and countries are aligning. Finally, like, that's it. We're done. We got to end this. I didn't hear him say this. Israel News put this as the comment. I did not hear this. Did you guys hear this? Trump reportedly said the U.S. will, quote, take over Hormuz and get paid for it. We're taking everything from them. oil, gold, land, money. They broke the deal. We hit the Iranians very hard tonight too, and separately claimed I eliminated Khamenei. Now he might have said that in the clip that we didn't hear prior to the Fox News clip, because it did say a lot of that afterwards.
Not terminated the agreement, the Iran nuclear deal, it's called. They would have had a weapon then. Had I not killed Khomeini, who was a, brilliant but mad general. He was a crazy Soleimani. I killed Soleimani. Soleimani was like one of the really, really bad people in this whole thing.
Right.
But he was good at what he did. He was a very brilliant general.
Mr.
I
President,
think the killing of Soleimani was one of the biggest things.
And
I think
we heard they're rebuilding.
The B-2 bombers, I'll tell you, Ainsley, had I not attacked on the B-2 bombers, they would have a nuclear weapon. And right now, the Middle East in its current form would not exist. It's not terminated.
Okay. So I think they are trying to say that he misspoke. He misspoke. He meant Soleimani. But when he said Khomeini, I think they're trying to say that he eliminated him. Let's listen to it again. I think he misspoke and he was really referring to Soleimani, but maybe he was talking about the mouse.
Not terminated the agreement, the Iran nuclear deal, it's called. They would have had a weapon then. Had I not killed Khomeini, who was a, brilliant but mad general. He was.
Now, see right there. A brilliant but mad general. He said Khomeini. He didn't mean Khomeini. He meant Soleimani. So right now, the media on the outlets on the other side are probably going to say that he just admitted that he killed Khomeini. No, he misspoke. He meant Soleimani. But I bet you they twist that one up. I bet you any amount of money that's going to get twisted. You guys know that. Because things are taken out of context, always. And now it's spreading. And the statement that I read from that ass clown is spreading. Oh, come on, President Trump. Finish the job. Finish these. Take the straight. Take the straight away from them. Yeah, but I got to look that up. Somebody said that's a great idea. Who cares what Israel thinks about us taking over the Strait? Seriously. It's not, I mean, do they get any benefits coming out of the Strait? Is that something that they're concerned about? Or is it the Arab countries and Iran? I don't see how it upsets Israel. Israel just wants to see the regime overthrown. And if this is the means to the ends, I don't think they're going to complain about it, to be honest. That's just my opinion. Of course, I may be wrong. All right, nothing new there. Oh, no. Let's see. Of course, we already read that. Okay. Nothing important there. I have to do that. I have to try to find out this account because I should have bookmarked it. But like you said, if I go to my history from yesterday, yesterday. This is it. This has to be him. Yep, I got it. Thank you, whoever told me to do that. I'm bookmarking it so I don't forget it. Let's see what this clown. What's up, Martin? Good morning. All right, so we know that the only card and leverage that Iran has is the Strait, and they know this. You remove that from the equation, that's a game changer. Changes everything. There's no need for a deal. There's no need for negotiations. There's no need for MOU. They have nothing else. What else do they have? Like I said, God forbid they come up with, surprise, a nuclear card. Let's just see what this crazy person is posting now. If it's actually him doing it. There he is. If the war escalates, its fires will engulf the entire region. The responsibility for any state of instability or escalation of the conflict in the region falls on the shoulders of the United States and countries that cooperate with its army. So, that's old. So that was his last statements. He's threatening, the regional countries, pretty much. Okay, I just caught up with all those. Here's that 3 minutes ago, what we were just talking about, Iran International. Iran said on Monday it would not allow the United States to take part in managing the Strait of Hormuz, following comments by President Donald Trump that Washington could take control of the Strait's waterway, the strategic waterway. We will, under no circumstances, allow the United States to interfere in the management of the Strait of Hormuz. We would respond with force to any U.S. military interference with commercial or oil tanker traffic outside routes designated by Iran, and without authorization from its armed forces. He also said any regional country, blah, 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 blah. What is this? I like the way he trolls them, though. They have no Navy, they have no Air Force, it's all gone. Their anti-aircraft is gone, their leaders have been all killed. Their best leaders have been killed. Khamenei is gone, the sun is 90% gone. The hell does that mean? What is this E3? Germany, France, and Britain condemned Iran's attack on commercial shippings. The same kind of statement. We condemn the heinous acts on merchant shipping. But I bet you, look, they also call for restoration of the ceasefire and resumptions of negotiations between the warring parties. Oh my God. Oh my God. There's no ceasefire now. Are they delusional? The same players, Germany, UK, France. Oh my God. Yeah, we spoke about what happened we showed the video. Did you see the video of the airport? The runway getting hit? That was unbelievable. We showed it earlier. U.S. gives Iran Saturday deadline to publicly renounce attacks Axios. So Saturday, 18, Sunday, 19 would be big straight days. Weekend. But that was supposed to be the deadline this past weekend. They gave them till Saturday of this past Saturday to publicly make a statement. And based on what Iran just said, you're not getting a statement of that. So good luck with that. Exactly. It was verbally called off. You think Iran is going to issue a public statement that the strait is open only through their direction? They just restated it now. That's their leverage. They're not going to give up that leverage. It'll never happen. Now, again, all things might be love taps during the week And maybe that sets the stage up for next weekend. God only knows. Here we go with the spamming calls early in the morning. It means he's a taker, not a giver nowadays, having lost his bits. Is supposedly going to take a memorandum of surrender this time. What? This time, I think that'll ever happen. Well, again, if you can completely cripple them. You take control over the strait. Complete control. You can, if you had control of the Persian Gulf or the Arabian Gulf, Strait of Hormuz, Gulf of Oman, all that area, what can Iran do? How do they get their oil out without paying us a toll? I'm just saying based on what the president said. You think they're ever going to accept that? There's no way they're ever going to publicly say, okay, unless, do you see them caving into this right now? I'm telling you, the islands are coming up on live news interviews, so something is in mind. Straight business plan, islands control, giving back revenue, and growth to people. That was always originally the plan, because that is an economic lifeline for the future. If the regime were to fall, you need to have some kind of economic lifeline. You don't want to destroy the infrastructure that is providing the economic benefits to the actual people. It's doing it for the regime, but it would be foolish to take it out and destroy it. You know what I mean? But to me, I've always said this, I am not putting any of our people at risk unless you have naval and air cover if anything happens on Karg Island. It just can't be air support. You need naval support. And in order to do that, you need to get the Navy through the strait into the Persian Gulf and near Karg. Until that happens, I do not want to see that happen, if at all. Just saying. You're leaving them exposed. You want that Navy right off Karg Island. Not just air cover. That's my opinion. And I'm sure there's people that disagree with that. I am not putting our people at risk. That's just me, though. And I'm sure the president is well aware of the risks. All right, we can get rid of this article. Okay, that's the same. Oh, it's only 9:30. Nothing new on the ones I always check. We got to keep an eye on this Houthi reaction, because they are threatening a reaction for what the Saudis did. Yeah, it's the same thing. And they're sharing that video that we seen earlier of the strikes in Sana'a, Yemen. That was wicked. It's amazing how their media outlets do not show the videos. They'll show videos of launches from Iran and missiles flying in the air, but they'll never ever show you those kind of videos. Never. I mean, this video is... I'll show the video for those who may have missed it. This was crazy. Let Let me pause it and lower it because it's so loud. This video is cray cray. The close up.
في هذه اللحظات مشاهدينا الكرام كما تشاهدون غارات يومية عدوانية على مطار صنعاء الدولي إلى حد الآن بغارتين استهدفت مدرج الهبوط والإقلاع هنا كما تشاهدون. الآن غارات عدوانية متواصلة. شوف 4 غارات.
And yes, Warfront Witness on Telegram. I mean, these guys were right there the whole damn time. They just happened to be there. The missiles are landing right in front of them. That is crazy. So the Houthis have stated that there will be a response. Let's see what you guys are writing in here. Yes. Yes, Martin, I agree. There's something's up. Saudi total combining other troops, the National Guard and Reserves, make it the largest standing force on the Arabian Peninsula. Active personnel, Iran, 510,000, UAE, 65,000, Oman, 47,000. Those are numbers that are before, like, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of regime reservists that they have for Iran. How many do they actually have out of what those numbers that you put in there that would actually participate? Or will they run and flee or desert? That is one of those numbers that you have to take with a grain of salt, because is it really, those people are really going to come forward and serve for the military if called upon? I'm not so sure about that. So, I mean, they could. I think that would be an exaggeration. But then again, if they are part of it, they're diehard regime supporters. Wouldn't surprise me at all. But they easily could say, screw this, and think about their families and their loved ones and say, no way, I'm not putting myself in this. Who knows? Who's putting this out? It's the same thing. Let's just see this clip if it's the same from Fox.
President, Lindsey Graham was definitely on your side when it comes to Iran and the threat, them not having a nuclear weapon. It looks like they're back at their business trying to take over the Strait. What's your response?
Well, we're taking over the Strait. They have nothing. They've got nothing. So something that nobody knows, yesterday they had an 11-hour meeting. Everything's 11 hours with these guys. You can't settle a one sentence in 1 hour, in 1 minute. It should be 1 minute. And everything was agreed to yesterday. And they leave the room and they call back and they say, we had to make a couple of changes. I said, changes? They got to make changes? We're not going to make changes. Always changes. They just, they're professional negotiators. That's all they are. I don't even call them good at it. They haven't gotten anything. They got nothing from me. But if you look, for 47 years, they've been tapping people along, presidents. Every president got tapped along, didn't do anything, and they became more and more powerful. This should have been done 47 years ago. Shouldn't have been allowed to start. But Clinton let him go, and Bush let him go. Everybody let him go, and Obama was the worst of all because Obama actually went to their side. Obama, because he's a let's not say. Let's leave that for another time. He was terrible, and he allowed Iran to. But he gave them 1.7 billion in cash, in green cash, put in satchels in an airplane and brought to Iran. $1.7 billion. Do you know what that is? Did you ever see $1 million in cash? This is 1.7 billion. It took up an entire Boeing 757, and they flew it to Tehran, and they gave it to people that were waiting at a plane. Can you imagine these people? They never saw money, and now all of a sudden they've got 1.7 billion in cash, and he gave them hundreds of billions of dollars in cash and everything else, and he went to their side, and because of that, they became much more powerful because of Obama and Biden, who was the vice president, but he probably had nothing to say because he was not such a stupid person. But then Biden, when Biden came in, and then I held him down, I stopped him, and the JCPOA, I stopped it, and stopped it really, really powerfully. I ended that agreement was the worst. Somebody said C. Maybe it's the C. It ends with the C. That agreement is the worst agreement that has been signed by this country. That's the top 5 bad agreements. And that basically gave them everything. And they built and built and built. And they were minutes away from a nuclear weapon. Mm-hmm. Had I not terminated the agreement, the Iran nuclear deal, it's called, they would have had a weapon then. Had I not killed Khomeini, who was a brilliant but mad general. He was a crazy Soleimani. I killed Soleimani. Soleimani was like one of the really, really bad people in this whole thing. Right. But he was good at what he did. He was a very brilliant general.
Mr. President,
I think the killing of Soleimani was one of the biggest things.
And
I think
we heard they're rebuilding.
The B-2 bombers, I'll tell you, Ainsley, had I not attacked on the B-2 bombers, they would have a nuclear weapon. And right now, the Middle East in its current form would not exist.
So this is all clips earlier from Fox News. So take that for what it's worth. Now, factually checking it, and I've done extensive research and I'm not going to rehash it, a lot of what he said is not true as far as the JCPOA and Iran rushing to build a weapon. And I'm not going to go over this. I have the documents to show even the JCPOA, when they had surveillance, monitoring, they were actually dismantling centrifuges. There was so much things going on with the JCPOA. It was when we withdrew from the JCPOA, they still tried to stick with it with other European countries, Russia, China. Then Iran said, screw this, we're out. That's when they started to rapidly develop highly enriched uranium. So that's a little misleading what he just said, because that's not the facts. And I had the documents to prove it. So they started to rapidly to create highly enriched uranium, the centrifuges, and we lost all the monitoring after they pulled out for over 4.5 years. They cut off the surveillance equipment, inspectors got thrown out, everything was off the table. We didn't know what the hell was going on for 4.5 years. That's in documents by the IAEA, etc. So again, facts do matter. All the mountain holes are getting uncovered. Yep. They've been doing that since the ceasefire was put into place, Martin. I agree. What's up, Lorenzo? Yeah, last night was wild. Everything that was going on. Yeah, I mean, North Korea, past administrations, once North Korea got the weapon and they were testing, and what are you going to do? They're an established nuclear power now. They are. So yeah. All the campaign that's the last 3 should have happened months ago. I totally agree. I totally agree with that, Martin. I said it. The ceasefire should have never been put in place. We should have made the priority the Strait from day one. Now we're hearing about them going after fast-moving boats and all that. That should have been done from day one. So yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot here. There's a lot. It's complex. Okay, let's do that. Race. Let's do that. Call me on the phone. But I actually had the documents to. And when you hear that Iran never to acquire and all that, it's clearly stated in JCPOA. It's in the first paragraph of the JCPOA. So, facts do matter. At least I think so. Let me just, and like I said, I have all the PDFs. That's the evidence. Not what people say, the evidence. The devil's always in the details. And I would suggest you folks go and download, because it's available. You can go look at it, the JCPOA. And that's not the case. I'm trying to find the document right now. This could be it, maybe. Like I said, facts matter. It's right here. And it was international. This is the JCPOA. Look at the countries involved. And it took almost 2 years to get this done. Iran, under no circumstances will Iran ever seek, develop, or acquire any nuclear weapons. And there was so much put into place. Monitoring, cameras, surveillance, destroying some centrifuges for highly enrichment. I mean, I would suggest this is a very long document. Limitations on the level, centrifuges. So when you hear all this, Iran will begin phasing out its centrifuges in 10 years. I mean, and then once we pulled out of this, that's when Iran said, okay, screw that. We're going all in now. And that's what happened. Those are the facts. Go look at the JCPOA and the devil's in the details. Look at some of the IAEA reports from last year and their concerns after we pulled out of the JCPOA, how Iran was rapidly developing highly enriched uranium. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yeah, man, fuck yeah.
Hold on. I can't believe it's. I've been streaming for a couple hours already, and it's only 9:45. I'm like, whoa.
You gotta learn to start.
I might go bike riding again if it clears up. I don't know. It is the Bishop, the Annalise Michel and Roland Doe possession.
Which one?
Annalise Michel, that's the actual real cases with Exorcist, and Roland Doe was actually the Exorcist. And it'll say Roland Doe possession.
Where you at on?
11:30. Where are you? You got it?
Okay.
I'm at 11:05 now.
Okay, go. Drop it.
Take
Gotta be close.
it. Got it?
Okay. Got it, brother.
Dude, how's the weather down there? Is it hot?
It's beautiful. Yeah, it's well, we had a cool down. We had a little bit of a cool down come through, and so it wasn't quite so bad yesterday afternoon and evening as it has been the last 3 or 4 days. But it's supposed to get back up to 95, 100 today.
I know, dude. It's supposed to happen here tomorrow. Starting tomorrow, too. It's supposed to go up near 100. I'm not going to even bring up real feel.
That's normal for us, though. That's normal for
Yeah.
us here.
I'm not.
We've really, really done well with rain.
So here, too.
But normally, right around this time
Oh.
of the year, it starts to dry up and the rains move west. Monsoon season out there.
Yep. Yep.
So, we'll start to see the grass, the lawns dry up and shit. You know what I mean? Fucking, it'll give it about 2 or 3 weeks. Some you'll start seeing brown spots in the yard. You know.
Dude, 100 tomorrow and 100 on Wednesday here.
You gonna go riding your bike?
Not in that heat, I'm not. Crazy? If I go riding, it's early in the morning where it's still cool in the shade under the trees and the trail. But even then, the temperatures aren't going to fall that much. It was in the 60s when I was bike riding. It was awesome. Not now. I did enough. I might do an adventure in the afternoon because I've never done it. I usually don't go afternoon bike riding ever. I might later. I just might take an afternoon stroll. Depends on the weather. Because it was raining this morning. I don't know what it's doing now. But what are you doing today? Nothing? What is going on?
Shit, I'm just gonna be working, man.
Call me. Did you make anything else? You know what I'm talking about. You don't have to get specific. Did you create anything over the weekend or no?
I did, yeah, 2.
Okay.
But I mean, even the ones I think that we did in the beginning, I wanna put in my little thing that I'm doing to the side. That's why I went and got my own, because I didn't want to use station stuff and nobody else's your stuff, Margie's stuff. But I'm taking a course right now learning how to use the program, and like you can really dial in every little thing you want or don't want.
Yep.
You just have to understand how to do it, man. So
Exactly.
I think that there's a lot to Suno, so I've got to get like legit training. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, it took me a minute to get all the little things.
Yeah, I can imagine. Because shit, it'd take years to learn it. It's like Sam Broadcasting. But I'm afraid that if I just run out and drop all the stuff I made right away, and when I was learning it, 6 months down the road, I'm going to turn around and look back and say, God, Lee, that was garbage.
I hear you. No, I sometimes think of that about my older songs. You know, like I look back and said, "Damn, what was I thinking?"
Yeah, I could have done this better or that. You know.
Yes.
Progression. But I don't have 6 months to get this done. I'm gonna get a little quicker than that. But I think the first album will be good for establishing the future of what I'm going to be doing.
There you go. There you go.
What I mean?
Well,
But you listen, whatever you do, stay cool, man. Hug Mom for us.
I will.
We love you. Call me if anything breaks, because I'm not going to be paying attention.
dude, I
Fucking
don't.
bring it down.
The president made a statement that he's gonna become the guardian of the strait and charge tolls. Iran is freaking out, and
Bro, just remember one thing. Just one thing. Everybody that that goes and spends time with Trump that never has before, like just for an example, Bill Barr from the other side of the aisle. Everybody that goes and hangs out with him, they come back and they say, man, he's a different person. I don't know why he can't be that way.
Yes, I've heard that too.
On the media. Dude, he has spent a third of his career in construction and in New York life on media.
Yes.
Before the Apprentice, before all that shit.
Believe me, I know. I lived in the city. I know all about it.
Yeah, he had to spin media because bad stuff would come out. He'd have to, I don't know if he threatened people, but you know what I mean? He played New York politics with a lot of shit, and reporters. He would always want to know who was reporting. He always wanted to know who they were. And, he just tried to control the narrative as best he could in order to, to promote what he was doing. And he doesn't making those when he starts doing that posturing, we're going to take Greenland. No, of course we're not going to go and take Greenland. That's what goddamn Putin does. America would never stand for that. If he was really serious about being the guardian of the streets, he's just saying that to piss them off.
He trolls them.
Oh my God!
He trolls the regime.
Troller.
Yes, he does. He does.
He's the king of all motherfucking trolls. The king.
No, yeah, and it's kind of funny too. It's like when he, yes. Oh, I know that sound. Anyway, dude, go. Do you? I love you because I'm live. Anyway, love you. Call me if anything. I'll let you know if I hear anything.
Anything.
All right, love you.
Love you back.
Bye. What's going on with BB's house? They targeted BB's house. What am I seeing in chat? What's going on? Oh no! Now it's part 2. Yes.
There's not a fire around here?
Not that I'm aware of. No. What's going on? You guys are saying? Yeah, I mentioned that earlier, KJ, about the responses coming from the Houthi spokesman. Oh, yeah, a couple of years back, yeah. Okay, now I see where you're going with that. Yes. Dave, I don't know if you mentioned about that earlier, but someone else did about her home, that the counterterrorism was there. And remember what happened today in UK. I'm not saying it's connected, but if they find out that somehow, some way, Iran is back, people in the UK are responsible for this, oh shit. What does the UK do then? Nothing? That's interesting. I should be done an investigation, a thorough investigation on the cause, who is responsible, and what are they linked to. No doubt. No doubt. That has to be looked into. So, I think the next thing to look out right now for is the Yemen, quote, response to the Saudis striking Sana'a, the airport. And another thing is, will ships transit the U.S. route, and will Iran, as they just threatened a few little while ago, threatened it's unacceptable, they must take our route, will they fire upon more ships that are transiting through the U.S. Oman route? And then we see what happens again. It's been going on for like a week. But I think that's where we're at right now. Unless the United States, because it seems like they're not letting up over the last few days, excuse me. What time is it? It's like 5:30 in Iran, unless the United States decides to keep pounding them without any action from Iran. In other words, does it take an Iranian strike on a ship for the United States to respond, or are the United States going to act preemptively and continue to strike targets within Iran to pressure the regime? Fighter jets. What? What's going on, Kava? Iran is the new Russian scapegoat. As far as what, in UK? Ghost? Because they actually put them both today. Fighter jets attempted to intercept Iran plane in Yemen. Yes. Yes. And they actually tried to intercept it again as it finally landed in another airport in Yemen. You know that is part of it all, Ghost. You know that. What I think we need to pay attention to is Cuba. Because we've been hearing a lot about Cuba has drones and this and that. And they can use those drones and strike continental U.S. Do you see that as possibly a reason the United States strikes targets in Cuba? To take that threat out? I'm just saying. You saw the Jeb Bush statement. Is that like to put that out there so that they have a reason to strike Cuba? Because of a potential threat of drones heading toward the United States from Cuba? So is that setting that up? There's a lot of things to watch. And there have been reports that they have hundreds of drones from Iran in Cuba. So, whether you believe or don't believe that, that's your opinion, obviously. But that's been reported. So if that's there and they're aware, do we take it out? We have relationships, obviously look at Guantanamo. We have relationships with the Cuban military. Is this something we're trying to work inside Cuba without the public knowing about it? Like, what the F are these drones? You know? Yes, we brought that up, Mighty Potter. But the thing investigating her murder, that has me very curious with the counterterrorism unit at the home investigating. That is, I want to see what comes out of that. But Bibi, I mean, his house, he's on the top of the list right now. He's always been on the list. Is that surprise you that they would target his home? And I remember when the October 7th, and they said there was plans to try to take him out at his home. Remember that? Shortly thereafter? And that was in the media, that they were going to try to take him out in his home. So that doesn't surprise me. So there's a lot going on right now to pay attention to. Exactly. Cuba's 100 miles away. How far is Cuba from Key West? I'm just saying Key West. From Miami. Alexa, how far is Cuba from Miami, Florida? In miles.
Miami is 332 miles from Cuba.
At its closest point?
At its closest point, Miami is about 100 miles from Cuba.
100 miles from its closest point from Cuba. 100 miles. No, wait. Yeah, 90 miles. Say roughly 100. That's freaking way too close. So yeah, That's a major concern. And legitimate.
Currently 75 degrees and
Alexa,
mostly
stop.
cloudy.
So just keep your eye on that. While everything else is going on. So everything fell quiet. It's amazing how that just happened. It just got quiet. Like Steve was saying last night.
Yankees are on a
Alexa,
7-game
stop.
losing-
Talking too much. Whoa, 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 whoa. What the hell is that? That's CENTCOM Farsi. That was from yesterday. That's old. Why is Shin reposting that? This was yesterday. Why is CENTCOM just putting this out? How long ago? This is old. This was last night. That's weird that Shin is just reposting this? Did you see the video that CENTCOM released last night? I wonder why they grayed that last one out. It looks like I can't make out what that looks like. It looks like some kind of artillery gun of some kind. Or a rocket? Why would they block this one out? You know what I mean? Why? I'm going to take a snapshot of that. Let's see what that looks like. It almost looks like a freaking tank. I look at the wheel. It looks like the wheels of a tank on the bottom. Look at this. Doesn't that kind of look like a tank? What are your opinions? I want your opinions. Yeah, but what is it? It's definitely a motorized vehicle of some kind. That's what I see. With a turret. That's what it looks like that to me. What do you guys think? What do you guys think that is? I'm just curious. I'm going to do something else now. I'm curious. And why would they block it out? gonna look at something. Oh fuck yeah. Oh fuck yeah. It looks very similar. It does look a little bit like this. Yeah, but look at this picture. Shit, I just did the wrong thing. Hold on. Hold on. Oh shit, it's not found. Damn. Take a look at some of the images of Iranian tanks. Look at the turret. I'm just saying. You see how it looks? You see how it looks? Could that have been a tank? I'm just saying. It kind of looks like some of them. And I searched Iranian tanks. I don't know. Regardless, it's still interesting. You think it's a missile launcher, Marianne? Who knows? Just very curious, because I see the tip. It kind of looks like the turret of a tank, the tip. And the wheels, like I showed, I don't know. And why would they blur it out? I don't know. That's kind of a little odd to me. The rats in Cuba could go for the oil and ships coming out of Venezuela instead of mainland USA. It's a valid point. I don't know where that's going to get them. They might be better off trying to get the oil coming out of the Gulf of America. Why Venezuela? Even though, yeah, because we cut off their supply from Venezuela, that does make sense. It looks pointed on the end. It could be. It could be some launcher of some kind. That is a great point, what I was thinking in the back of my mind. That's exactly what I was thinking, Mad Million. Is it because of the source of where that weapon came from? That makes more sense to me. That they're actually using Chinese or Russian tanks in the theater. That makes more sense to me. Good point. Who are the manufacturers of those? And obviously, the source is it's not ours, unless it came from somewhere else. Oh my God! But yeah, I think that's a good guess. Mad Million. They don't want to show that they're using equipment from the Chinese or the Russians against our military forces. It's a great point. Alexa, what countries does Iran get their tanks from?
Iran's tank fleet is diverse. Historically, they've sourced from Britain, the US,
That's
and more
old.
recently Russia. Today, they operate T-72s from Russia, M60S from the US, and Chieftains from Britain, along with Chinese and domestic models.
Those are the older versions before the revolution. But there it is. Russia, China.
You're right about those being pre-revolution models. Currently, Iran imports Russian tanks like T-72s and has developed domestic models, plus some Chinese imports. They've become largely self-sufficient in tank production.
Alexa, stop. That makes total sense. But if they were producing it themselves, because that's what this thing says. I don't believe everything this thing tells me either. But it would make sense. What has China and Russia been shipping Iran? Are they shipping them tanks too? And well, they have been, obviously, in the past. Because they're getting it from them. The T-72s. Let's look up a T-72. What does a T-72 look like? Uh-oh. I gotta look at that. I'm trying to see one that gives the wheels. Oh, it definitely looks like it. It looks like an old Soviet T-72 tank, which would definitely be possible. But let me just add more information. It freaking looks like even the wheels. Okay. It could be. I would have to find out more information about the Russian. The freaking wheels even look similar to those in the picture. Now this is a model. This is like a model you make. It's just a model. I'm just gonna show a model, a picture of a model, like you would build a model. Look at the wheels. Look at it. That's a T-72. Look at the wheels. See that? Now look at the photo I screenshot. And I'm reaching a lot. I know that. I get it. I'm just trying to mess around with this. I think that's a tank. It's hard to see it, but you can get an idea of the design of the wheels. See them? The spaces? I don't know. Exactly. Look at the old choppers they gave them. Exactly. They're not going to give them... Who knows? Anyway, enough of that. Just curious. They didn't want to show that it was a Chinese or a Russian tank. That was a great observation, Mad Million. Great observation. That's why I love you guys. You guys are so sharp. Marianne agrees. All right, let's see what the heck is going on here. It's the same thing. We read this already. We will force the foreigners and their allies to submit to the will of the Iranian nation. Iran will continue to exert its sovereignty and management over the Strait of Hormuz with full force. He said the U.S., by interfering in the strait, has seriously endangered global oil and gas security and must be held accountable. It's a little different. That's not a big deal. All right, getting back to this. Because you could hit Telegram, but it's the same thing regurgitated over and over and over again. Look at this again. Look how we're seeing Arab countries uniting. Egypt just released a statement. 3 minutes ago, Egypt, which has served as mediator in Iran-U.S. talks, condemned Iran's repeated attacks on Kuwait, Bahrain, Oman, and Jordan in a statement on Monday. Even Egypt is jumping on board to condemn what the hell is going on. This is starting to get really interesting because it looks like the Arab countries are uniting as a front behind the scenes. And I don't know if this is going to lead to anything, but things are getting interesting. Very interesting. We already went over this. We don't need CENTCOM because they just released something from... That was last night. I'm going to see if the president is releasing anything. That's interesting. DP World is set to develop a new multi-purpose port and container terminal. A move to bypass the Strait of Hormuz and reduce reliance on Dubai's Jebel Ali hub. The project signals a major shift in UAE trade logistics amid rising regional concerns, which they're trying to bypass the strait. I agree, they need to unite. Enough is enough. And exactly, they're starting to affect their pocketbooks, for sure. They want to make money. It's always about money. Come on. He just posted. President just posted because they're sharing it. Let me go check Truth Social. Hey, San, what's up? San? I don't know, but that was my cousin in Florida. I'm just making sure that this is legit. It is legit. What's happening? Is everything all right?
Yeah, I'm okay.
You want to talk to Mama?
I just got up.
Did somebody try to call you? You tried to call me.
Oh, I think I had to.
If you want, wake up and call me back to talk to Mom.
Bye.
Bye. It is legit. The president did post this. Warfront Witnesses putting it on their thing, but it's easier to read. The Hormuz Strait is open and will remain open with or without Iran. We are reinstating the Iranian blockade. Oh boy. We are reinstating the Iranian blockade, so named because it's only stopping Iran ships or customers from entering or leaving. All other countries will have fair and open use of the strait. The USA will be, from this point on, known as the guardian of the Strait of Hormuz, Strait. But as such, and as matter of fairness, will be reimbursed at the rate of 20% on all cargo shipped for any and all costs necessary to do the job of providing safety and security to this very volatile section of the world. The process and formation will begin immediately. Thank you for your attention to this matter. President Donald J. Trump. Whoa. So now he's saying there's a charge at the rate of 20% on all cargo shipped for any and all costs necessary to do the job's security. So now we're going to charge a fee as a matter of fairness for security to get them through the strait. Look at this. Iran must be flipping the F out now. Like they're never going to accept this. Ever. So now shit might really hit the fan. They're never going to accept that. Yeah, they did it. Now we're doing it. That's what it says. I'm just posting what he posted. This is literally minutes ago. But as such, we're going to be the guardians. And as a matter of fairness, because it costs us money to provide security and safety, we will be reimbursed at the rate of 20% on all cargo shipped. All cargo shipped. For any and all costs necessary to do the job of providing safety and security to this very volatile section of the world. This will begin immediately. It's back. The Iranian blockade is back. The naval blockade is back. This is breaking news. I mean, I don't want to sound like other people, but he's saying that we are reinstating the Iranian blockade. So the naval blockade has now been put back in place immediately. And he's going to charge 20% fees for security and safety to travel through the strait. Holy shit, this is breaking news. Now he's not making me rich. I mean, it does. It costs a lot of money. Exactly. Regardless of what this just said, the main points are the 20% fee and that the naval blockade is reimposed. Now, what is Iranian response? Because they're going to fire at vessels now, for sure. There's no way they're going to sit by and allow the United States now to collect fees like they wanted to collect fees. Now the United States, he just totally trolled them. Totally. You two can play this game. Again, you could look at this so many different ways. Maybe just a thought to get the IGC closer to the strait so wrong could get them. He caused it, and now he's charging to fix it. Not a good look. This is actually, I don't think this is more than, like Tusi says, don't take this literal. He's playing their game. Oh, you want to charge tolls? We can charge tolls too. And we'll open the strait and we'll secure it. I think it's more that than just reading this for what it says. It could eventually go and take place. I mean, but again, is this some sort of a thing that's going on behind the scenes with the Arab countries? It's a trap card. That's the way I'm reading it. That's how, like what Bean just said. That's what I'm reading into it. Because we have agreements behind closed doors with the Arab countries. And it could easily be interpreted that they need to pay more for what we're doing to secure the area. I mean, it is super expensive to do what we're doing over there. Billions and billions and billions of dollars. Who's paying for it? Taxpayers? Why should the taxpayers pay for something over there? Because he started it? I know, we just showed the post, Nappy. This is breaking news. Regardless of how you view this, whatever your opinion, the point is made. That's the point. I'll leave it up on the screen. I read it a few times. You guys could read it again. That is the point. Now, what does Iran do? And they already released statements regarding this. We will never allow this to happen. The United States won't be allowed to do this. We won't allow the United States to do this. This has got to be spreading all over. Oh, I'm sure their media is going crazy right now with this. Oh, they are. They already started. All of them. They all posted it. Every Telegram I follow of the regime media outlets are sharing it. Every one of them. I hear you, Nappy. I hear you. Sort of like pouring salt on the wound, yeah. Like Bean said, it's a trap card. It's calling their move. What are you going to do now? Exactly. This is more to troll Iran than anything else. And that the blockade is back. We all want a better life for all of us here. And for others too. But yes, America first. I mean, we're Americans. I mean, that makes sense. This has to be spreading like wildfire. So now, what is the Iranian? Because they've already made response, but this just came out. They're going to definitely come out with stuff now. It's all over the place. And just as an example, look what Fatux put. Exactly what we just said. Breaking 2 minutes ago, Trump says the U.S. has reinstating the blockade on Iran. That is big news. That is breaking news. The blockade is being put back in place. He says America will become the guardian of the Hormuz Strait and charge 20% on all cargo shipping through it. He's doing that to troll Iran. Now, is it legitimate that he's going to do it and carry out with it? Who knows? It's the point, what he's doing here. Similar to like what Tusi says, don't take it so damn literal. It's the power in the message. Exactly. Richard makes a great point. They know that the regime is going crazy within the politicians, those who want to try to seek a deal, and the hardliners. And this, believe this. It's not just that. It's not just the regime and what's going on in the infighting. If you, like I showed it, and many were here, if you saw the funeral of Ayatollah, now there were Iranians in chat saying they were paid to be there, they were provided food, water, all that. But you can see just on that image, based on the things that were going on, there's a lot of regime supporters. Do you think they want them to cower and cave into the United States demands? The true regime supporters, however many millions there are, 3, 4, 10, whatever the number is. Do you think they want a deal after they want revenge? They want blood. So there's pressure on that part of the regime itself too, coming from those people, the supporters of the regime. It's not just the regime itself. And you got to think of all their proxies too. But this is gonna. I am really interested to see how this is gonna play out throughout the day now. Because it's what, like 6 p.m. in Iran, something like that. I need Shin. First of all, I want to get my custom filter up. Not more than I see usual. The tankers flying over the Gulf of Oman. Not that many, actually. They're going cray-cray. We're going to have to wait till we see translations. They're going cray-cray on Telegram. But this is the reaction he wants. This is exactly the reaction he wants.
Dude,
Yes.
you got any dishes, bro? I'm doing all the dishes.
Here, there's a couple of cups. That's about it. And that one, the glass one. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm curious to see. Curious to see what if IRIB or any of the Iranian news outlets are talking about it yet. No. I haven't checked IRNA, Press TV, Mayor. I'm looking at IRIB. Nothing here. Let me check out Fars. This just came out, so I'm not expecting an immediate response. Look at just as comparison. This is 21 hours ago. 21 hours ago. I know it's old, but still. Spokesman stresses role of Iran, Oman, and future arrangements for Strait of Hormuz. Fars News. Good luck with that. They talked about it in Oman when the foreign minister went there. Oman and Iran agreed to continue discussions at the political and technical legal levels to reach a common understanding regarding shipping security in the Strait of Hormuz. Good luck with that. That was Saturday. This is what I'm trying to see, like, if anything is coming out. Good luck. Oh, it's on Press TV. Could you imagine what I don't even want to be part of this. I'm going to bookmark this one too. They put it out there. They did. Press TV did. This is going to be interesting to see how this develops throughout the day. I don't know what the oil markets have reacted, if at all. Hopefully the light at the end of the tunnel isn't far away. The Iranian people and all that want peace. Gulf of America, Trump Strait, what's next? Like, I understand your point. This, again, we all have different opinions, you know. I'm just putting it out there. But they're the only ones right now that put that. Out of all these that I follow, you know, I'm checking the Iranian sources too, like this knucklehead, IRB, Fars, Press TV, Mehr. This is theirs, just to see what they're saying. Of course, Faytux and Shin. Do you want to see? Let's just be curious, okay? I can't imagine. I don't want to put that. I want to see the comments. See, that's what people are taking it too literal. So he criticized Iran's told just to impose his own soul. See how people are criticizing it? It's not about this. He's trolling them. In my opinion, he is trolling them. That's the way I'm reading into it. That's just me, though. But you can see the comments. I don't know why he put this up, though, because this was last night. And he did that 46 minutes ago. Maybe he forgot to post it. Who knows? That was from last night. Yeah. I mean, like Tusi says, I think, you know, when you take things literally for what he says, it's more about the message itself. Yeah, exactly. This is a trap card. I see it as that too. He is trolling them because they come out with statements. I guess we're just going to have to see how this plays out. Things have, you know, first of all, there's a lot of things going on. I don't know. I don't know where Tycho is. This is everybody. This is every day. This is every day with the dog. Every day. Every day with the dog. Where's Tycho? It's like Waldo. Where's Tycho? He's under the bed. But, and I have to get up to stop her from doing that. To check where the dog is. But we got to keep an eye on the Houthi response, if at all, towards Saudi Arabia. The Iranian response to this. Is there traffic currently going on trying to get through the United States route? And will Iran fire upon them because they're not recognizing the United States route or control of the strait and everything the president just stated? The naval blockade has been put back in place. How is Iran going to respond to that? You know what I mean? It's official. The naval blockade is back in place. That's big news. Again, Morgan, don't read too much into he's charging a 20%. He's doing what he's trying to say. Well, if Iran could do it, we could do it too, Iran. We could charge a toll. We have a route too, you know. You want to charge tolls up there? We can charge tolls down here. It's more of a mind psyop game that he's doing. Don't take it too literal. I know it says what it says, but read between the lines on a post like that. That's all I'm saying. I may be wrong. You know, totally. And I'm okay with that. But I think that's what it is. He's trolling them. He's getting inside their head. We'll see. Well, time will tell, Morgan. I mean, again, first of all, someone's got to eventually. This is the contradiction. Iran is claiming that all traffic must go through them, and they must pay fees and get approval. And the United States, well, they're not recognizing the United States route. Well, we can do that game too. We can provide security and charge tolls just like you guys are trying to do. To me, that's what this is about. Playing into their game. So now the question is, out of the two that are stating the same things, who takes final control of the strait? To be determined. That's the way I'm reading into it. Like I said, I may be wrong. So we'll see. But it's still early. I don't know marine traffic. I don't know what the heck is going on, so I should look. Is anything showing up? And remember, marine traffic isn't like looking at flight radar where you see stuff moving. It takes time. You know? So right now, there's nothing going on. There's a few ships here, but they look like, based on their position, that they took the Iranian route. Because the U.S. route is hugging the tip of Oman and coming down. So I don't see anybody doing that. Doesn't mean they're not there. They're just not showing themselves. That's possible. But right now, there's not much going on. And the United States put their blockade back up, which I don't know what the positioning is. It from here to here? I don't think they're going to go that deep. I think it's probably here to here. So time, you know, we got to see how this plays out. It's that simple. Well, there ain't nothing moving right now. The dots are anchored, then there's no movement, see? When you see the dots, they're anchored. And there, even like flight radar, there's a lot of spoofing on this too. So you got to watch out for that too. What's this, Nolly? What is that for the trail? I don't know anything about that. I'm not familiar with this. The temple coins, I'm not familiar with this at all, Nolly. This is the first I've ever seen this. I'm not even familiar with that. Hold on. And now the Israeli media is reporting it. Times of Israel. And he did mention that in Fox News, on Fox News this morning, about the whole tolls thing and the Guardians of the Strait comment. So after he did the Fox interview, he actually posted about it on Truth Social. I guess they will announce Lindsay's replacement. The governor's going to make the announcement. I believe it's the governor, right? Of South Carolina. Yes, the governor this afternoon announced his pick to replace Lindsey Graham in the Senate until his term expires in January. Thank you for putting that in chat. Faye. 4 p.m. today at the South Carolina State House. So you might want to pay attention to this. I'm sure Steve, Agenda Free, will cover it. So there you go. 4 p.m. Eastern. I believe Eastern, right? It just says 4 p.m. Yeah, it's got to be Eastern, South Carolina. Right there, Monday, 4 p.m. So for those who want to check that out later, that'll be happening this afternoon. So again, there's a lot going on right now. So now the other side is putting this out. Oh my God. What they claim to have targeted retaliation in Iran. So Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, you could see it. You could have attempted to retaliate. It doesn't mean you did shit. 2 merchant vessels. Believe that not. Because they make a lot of false claims. But that's what they're putting out there. I don't know what the hell this is. Holy shit. Was this one of our one-way attack drone ships? What the hell is this from? I don't know, because it's in Arabic. What the hell is this? I wish I could read, but I can't. It's like this boat is approaching and it hits a dock and explodes. This could be our, because they said they did use it. Check this out. Check this video clip out. It says unclassified. Usually that's what we label it as. Look at this. Boom. Wow. I think that's what that is. I don't know for sure because I can't read the caption. It's in Arabic. Oh, it's CENTCOM. It is ours. CENTCOM. Wow, that is outrageous. That's outrageous. I'm going to have to look at CENTCOM to see if they officially released this video. Until then, I got to say unconfirmed, but I heard they did use those. Wow, he's recommending his sister? Wow. It's coming in like crazy, folks. It's starting again. Yes, CENTCOM released footage showcasing sea drones against Iranian targets. Multiple one-way attacks, surface drones. I gotta go to CENTCOM. So it looks like that's been confirmed. It is a CENTCOM release. Let's check CENTCOM. Yes, it is official. It is CENTCOM. Confirmed. CENTCOM released the video. Confirmed. It was a CENTCOM release. How come Amazon isn't affected with shipping in the Middle East? A lot of the products come from China, South Korea. I don't know how much they get out of... I don't know how much cargo comes out from Amazon located in the Arab countries. A lot of it may be flown out. It doesn't... I don't know. That's a good question, Rich. I can't... I don't know. I don't have the answer for that one. One can only speculate on that one. But that is ours. Wow. It says here, yesterday, using multiple one-way attack surface drones, CENTCOM forces successfully struck a submarine and ship maintenance facility in Iran. 3 Corsair unmanned surface vessels hit the port at Bandar Abbas Naval Base, marking the first time American forces have employed sea drones. Last night's strikes degraded Iran's ability to continue attacking commercial shipping. Whoa. Now, the other side is saying, notice how this entire facility is already destroyed? These are just PR attacks. No actual military value is left in most of these targets. Good job bombing an abandoned dockyard. And good job. It is laughable what they just put up. Even though it is true in the foreground, you can see the facility has been decimated. But that doesn't mean that those strikes didn't happen at the same time that happened. So, twist and twist. They seem to be twisting. I saw that on Faye Tux though, Faye. It did look like a sub in that dock. Above. It did. Like a mini sub. It did. Exactly. Exactly. It looked like a mini sub. Exactly. Ha! Eugene. There's definitely a mini sub on that dock. It's right there. It's right there. Clear as day. They're taking it all out. You won't be using that mini sub. And yeah, you could see this place has been hit. But now they won't be using this dock or that mini sub anytime soon. They're taking out everything as they should, leaving nothing left behind. I see no issue with this, even though they'll downplay it. Kaboom. Well, that thing is definitely on fire. Now, I can't tell by the video I would assume that the sub was taken out, but I can't tell because of we don't see the aftermath. But yeah, there's definitely a mini sub on there. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. Oh my God. Wait till you see this one. $20% on cargo value? Use the Iranian lane now and only pay 10%. This is exactly what this was designed to do. Troll them. This is what we were saying. There you go. Exactly what he wanted this whole thing to do. Look, they're reacting. 20% on cargo value? Use the Iranian lane now and only pay 10%. It's like a freaking advertisement. And guess what? It also brought out their intent to charge. They just bought that. They got trolled, and it's exactly. Oh my gosh, this shit. I mean, this is almost like an Austin Powers movie. And by the way, side note, I can't think of his name off the top of my head right now. The actor, he's a really good actor. In Jurassic Park, Sam Neill, is that his name? Passed away, 78. If you ever saw the Omen 3, when he played the role as president in that movie, passed away. I'm checking. I'm going to get off soon because things are kind of quiet, but keep an eye. A lot of things developed this morning. The naval blockade is back in place. That is big news. That is the big news. $47 go. Uh-oh. Here's a response. Press TV. Oh, look at this. Spokesman for the Foreign Policy and National Security Committee of Iranian Parliament. Trump claims he wants to become the guardian of the Hormuz Strait. We don't need foreign guards to protect the strait. If he's so determined to be a guard, he can go guard Graham's grave. Ho 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 ho. It's starting to come out. Here we go. It's starting to come out. Their reaction. And that's exactly what he wanted to trigger to see. And the more and more this goes on, you're going to see more of them feeding into it. U.S. President announced the reinstatement of what he calls the Iranian blockade in yet another violation of the Islamabad MOU. It's so done. Yeah, he was. So, here we go. Breaking news from the regime side. Iran will announce its withdrawal from the MOU. See, it triggered. See this? This is what I say. Don't take too many things literally. It just triggered a reaction. Exactly what he was doing. He was triggering a reaction from them, trolling them, and now they're reacting. I'm seeing it right here. Breaking. Iran will announce its withdrawal from the MOU. That's it. It's game on now. Ceasefire's done. MOU's done. Exactly, being trap card in play. I will not be shocked to see Tusi live soon. All this stuff that's going on with Yemen, Saudi Arabia, blockade back, MOU done. Gosh, it's just, even though we're not seeing many military activities going on, that's the same thing about the New York Times article about Ahmadinejad. I can't say his name right now. I'm actually tired. Ahmadinejad, that they were trying to recruit him to be the Mossad president of Iran. That's a little old now. Oh shit. French terror probe opens after weapons found outside Paris synagogue. They have yet to identify any suspects. A stolen car containing a military-style rifle and handgun was found parked near a synagogue in Paris suburb of Sarcelles, home to one of France's largest community, Jewish population. That just came out. I'm going to refresh one more time and then take a break. I've been sitting here for hours. Old. I'm checking their media outlets now. That's to Yemen. That's nothing. Keep an eye on Yemen and Saudi Arabia. All right, that's it on that. All the feeds I check on X. Military strategic. Didn't want to gamble, so we never shot for it. Yes, Bean, you know how I feel about the small boats. You know how I feel. And again, Morgan, I agree with that. I've said it from day one. Before it even started, keep the straight out of their hands. I said that from day one. Yeah, Mom. National security is of the utmost importance, and preventing leaks from coming out, because leaks can cause people their lives. Period. Regardless of how you look at it politically, from whatever political standpoint, it can cost someone their life by leaking out information. So, but here's the guy who on Signal was putting out information and didn't know a reporter was on the Signal discussion about the strikes that were about to happen in Yemen. So here, coming from that guy saying preventing leaks, he was part of that whole thing involved with that. So take that for what that's worth. The guy that was doing it on Signal with a reporter there. What if that reporter wasn't a reporter and somebody else was invited, or the reporter decided to say, breaking news, the United States is about to strike, putting people's lives at risk. Same thing. Just to be fair. Stateside of government and people do not care how many. Yeah. Being you're opening up a whole nother conversation, because a lot of people say, how does this benefit the United States by doing what we're doing in Iran? How does this make America first? No new wars. I mean, that is a legitimate discussion to have by many. Again, on both sides. How in that way benefits the United States? Is it about the possibility of a nuke being used against us? A dirty bomb? That opens up a whole Pandora's box, because you could look at that in so many different ways. The border cell's been here for decades, embedded in society like the Soviets did during the Cold War. People kind of think that this is just happening now. This has been going on for a long time. You know, it's so complex, because you can look at it and break it down so many different ways. But they're saying, you know, a lot of them are reacting like, oh my God, this war has caused prices to go up. And now they're coming down, oil and gas and everything else. But how does this benefit us? And like you said, sadly, a lot of people don't really care about the loss of life in Iran or elsewhere. Their concern is the homeland. And that's legitimate. You know what I mean? So, again, humanitarian, you know, there's so many ways to look at this. Yeah, he was arrested. I spoke about that earlier, Eugene. That's why I brought him up just a few minutes ago. Ahmadinejad. So, yes, Tammy, what's happening? Good afternoon. Oh, it's still morning. Good morning. Let's just see how this plays out, because it's cray-cray. Yeah, they're saying it is breaking news, but we read about this earlier with the former Iranian president. Matt Tardio's going on Speak the Truth. It's a good time for me to take a break, because I don't even know how long I've been streaming now, for hours. And I need to take a break. Keep an eye out for all those people that you keep an eye on when they do their podcasts, whoever they are, because today's going to be a busy day, I think. Remember, the naval blockade is back in place. Saudis hit the airport in Sana'a. The Houthis are vowing to retaliate. There's going to be a response. There's all kinds of stuff going on, so just pay attention. Because the day is early yet for us. But right now, it's like approaching after 6:30 in Iran. Like 6:40 maybe p.m. in Iran. Alexa, what time is it in Tehran?
It's 6:40 p.m. in Tehran right now.
Night is coming in Iran. God bless you all, Mom. So, and yes, there's the stuff going on between Ukraine and Russia. There's a lot going on. So just keep your, you know the people that you guys watch. Tusi, Armin, Ali, whoever it is. Matt Tardio, Matt Morse, Enforcer, Agenda Free, you guys know the whole deal. All the people that do their podcasts. They will have a busy afternoon today. It's going to be busy because there's a lot of breaking news. Just the naval blockade alone that the United States is reimposing is big news. The possibility that Iran said earlier to one of their media outlets that they're going to make an official announcement withdrawing from the MOU is big news, because that means negotiations are done, at least publicly. Armin is live, Liberty Politics. What's up, Diesel? And goodbye, Diesel. Anyway, everybody, be well, be blessed, be safe. God bless our president. God bless our country. God bless our troops. God bless all of you and your families. And if anything crazy goes on, another, who knows, I'll be back. But for now, I need to take a break. Love to all of you. Be well, be blessed, be safe. Till later.